Hello, everybody, and welcome to Gold Rush Football Podcast on Gold Rush Football TV. My name is Olaniwaju Abodu, and I still remain your favorite podcaster. Thanks for sharing and thanks for the comments and the likes. We really appreciate the listeners. And also, this episode is sponsored by Wale Habs. It's also sponsored by Better Life Stores and also Victory African Stores. Today, I have my guys here. I have Sammy here. Sammy's back on the podcast, and I also have Seun. Seun is one of our co-hosts on this podcast, so he's making his first debut for this season. He's making his appearance for this season at the 6th episode of this podcast, So
sitting in the 14th position on the table.
And of course, Seun is a Manchester United fan. Let me bring on Seun. Seun, how you doing now?
I'm good, just enjoying this international break before my team comes back and bring me pain. But a couple more days and we're back.
You're back.
Emotional damage.
Sammy, how far are you doing?
Life is good,
As a Chelsea fan.
Come on, man. There's nothing better than, living a peaceful, enjoyable, fun life, having your players, go on international break and, just ripping it out, on the golden platform.
Nice.
Come on, Mikhailo Mudryk, doing his thing, Nkunku doing his thing, come on, I can't. Pedro Neto, Vega. Do you want me to come, man? Enzo Fernandez, come on.
All right, guys, as we all know, this week is the international break, and of course, it's going to be ending in a couple of days, and the league will be back by next weekend. On Friday, the league will be back, but we're enjoying the international break, and you can see Sammy, a Chelsea fan, is just basking in the euphoria of most of his players, flying, and also Chelsea life. What a day and what a time to be a Chelsea fan. But I can't say the same thing for the Manchester United fan here, Shio. How is this international break?
Some of my Madrid friends, they've offered me loan offer till January.
Oh, okay. So you are trying to port or do a loan as a Manchester United fan, porting to Real Madrid.
No, sister clubs.
Imagine, sister
The
clubs.
biggest clubs in Europe. But,
Shameless. The theater of dreams have turned to what? Theater of death.
This international break gave them time to think and recalibrate.
This is not a matter of thinking for Man U. Your problem is much more bigger than thinking.
But we start small by small now, step by step.
Good luck.
Well, before we had this episode, at the backstage, I was talking to a friend. I said, in the previous episode that we had, I said, Eric Ten Hag will be gone before this international break. Manchester United will be having a new coach before the international break. But of course, I just said my own. It's not happening.
Yeah.
Eric Ten Hag will still be the coach
He
of
will
Manchester
still be.
United.
In fact, he has demanded for a white wall be built at Carrington.
Right.
Yeah, to avoid people from seeing his training sessions. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
There's nothing to steal.
Are you kidding me?
Anyway, guys, let's move on. Since like I said, it's the international break, so we'll just be going to the Q&As. We have some questions which the listeners, and most of our followers on Instagram sent to us, and we'll be asking our guys. It's going to be most of our talking points today. So sit back and enjoy the first one of the very first episode you'll be enjoying right here on this podcast. Again, this is Gold Rush Football Podcast on Gold Rush Football TV. Welcome and welcome. Sammy,
Yes, sir.
Let's start it. I have the first question right here. The question is, it says, why has Hansi Flick been successful at Barcelona, but he wasn't with the German national team? So far, so good. Barcelona have been playing, so good. They're on top of the log. So the question is, why has Hansi Flick been successful at Barcelona, but he hasn't with the German national team?
Well, first off, the profile of both teams, completely two different profiles. The way the Germans operate, the German Mansion typical type of, game is different from, the tiki-taka version of, Barcelona. But I want to really give props to whom it's due, because we need to give credit to players like Rafinha. Because Rafinha, I don't know, wherever he did,
A man that almost
everyone has
70% of
witten him
Barcelona
off.
Fans last season wanted him out.
Everyone has written off. I myself, I wrote him off last season. There's nothing good can come from this guy anymore. And it's crazy the way he just switched things all around. I think it has to do with, Hansi Flick as a coach. I think he came and the confidence he had he has in him, or kind of like I think helped him, because giving him the captain handband as well, like I think that
one of the captains.
Yeah, one of the captains.
Right.
So I think that confidence, the way, the relationship that Hansi Flick has with him, or that he has with the team in general, I think it's helping. It's very similar to Chelsea's profile, the kind of culture that Maresca is building within the team. You saw against Nottingham Forest, everyone except Cole Palmer got into that fight. So when you have players that come together as a family, as a culture, it's even the same even in pickup soccer. We play every day as humans. I was playing a game yesterday, and so someone came in. How long have we been playing together as a team? Because of the chemistry. But it has to do with the fact that the team I play with, we go out every time. We do a lot of things together. So that sense of belonging, the confidence kind of like sparks things. And I'm going to be honest with you, Hansi Flick, he had a lot to do coming into that, Barca, and I can tell like everyone was watching. He has surprised a lot of people. A lot of football fans are shocked, and I don't know the way he works his magic with the Barcelona team. But one thing I can say for sure is the camaraderie within the team is very, very different. And I think with the German national team, we had the likes of Musiala, Florian Wirtz, that were coming in, and they were so high profile. And then I think the selection of the team at the time could have been an issue, because when you look at it, Toni Kroos was towards the end of his career back then, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of things were going on with the German national team, inside that impacted their performances at the time. And but I mean, we all know his level of coaching. We know he's a top class, world class coach that once he finds the profile of players that he wants, and
he's ready to go.
Yeah, he's ready to go. And yeah.
Well, Seun, do you want to add something?
I mean, I'll just speak a little bit on the German football side. I think like he didn't have enough time, because with international football, you need results. They don't really play a lot.
Right.
Once in a while, they get 1 week, 2 week breaks.
Yeah.
1 or 2 tournaments every 2, 3, 4 years. So like, I don't think they gave him enough time to implement his style of play, like the way he wanted to play, and like pretty much have the solid selection of players. So I think that's why. Because we know Hansi Flick's a solid coach. He did well with Bayern before he left.
Yeah.
Just the time. And let me say a little bit of luck with the uprising of Yamal for Barcelona too has really helped, and the other young players. Yeah.
Well, to me, I'll just say, let me just add to what you guys say, because to me, this is the thing. Working with the German national coach, German national team, it's you just have a little time to work with these players.
Yeah.
But working with a club football, so I think Hansi Flick is trying to let us know that he's a day-to-day coach.
Yeah.
He's not a coach that will just work with some set of
for a
players
week or two,
for just 2 weeks, for just 3 times in 3 months, or one time, or once in 2 months.
Yeah.
You understand? So I think that was why he's been successful, because he was successful at Bayern. We all know that. He won the treble with Bayern Munich, and there was no doubt that he was a good coach. And again, he got the job of the German national team with his success when Joachim Low stepped down.
Yeah.
And he was also the assistant to Joachim Low at the World Cup.
Yeah.
Which German won.
Yeah.
Then Hansi Flick was the assistant to Joachim Low. So I think everything is just like a progress for him. So you can be an assistant for a national team coach, and you be under the radar, and also you cannot just be you can sometimes not be comfortable working with just guys maybe once or twice, like I said.
I mean, everyone is not built to be a national team coach,
right? So I mean this is just way too early to call. Things might change during the course of the season, but so far so good. I think Hansi Flick is built for a day-to-day activities, not working with the national team, because we can see what he has done. And to cap it up with what you said about Rafinha, Rafinha is a man that almost 80% of Barcelona fans want him out of the club last season, together with Lewandowski. I don't want us to go to Lewandowski, because if we start that, we're going to leave this
a different chapter.
So together with Lewandowski, almost 70-80% of Barcelona fans don't want both guys. They don't want these two guys in the squad, but Look at what is going on right now. These guys are the ones giving the coach doing good performing week in, week out. And of course, this had to be also said with the kind of coach which is on ground right now.
Yeah.
That's the credibility and the professionalism of Hansi Flick.
Yeah.
This is, if Xavi had been, no, Xavi would also always be the legend of Barcelona. But if it ought to be Xavi to be the coach of Barcelona right now, we'll be talking about the exit of Lewandowski and the exit of Rafinha. Because under the radar, what we heard about Lewandowski was, he was number one man that Xavi wants out of that club. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but this was a man which Xavi told us that is done, and Barcelona fans, we can see it. Yes, last season we saw what's happening. Lewandowski was struggling. Struggling. He was struggling so well, but look at what is going on right now. So again, this is too early to call. Credit to Hansi Flick, and let's see how that pans out. Guys, let's go to the second question which I have here. I have a question. It says, all right, this is coaching perspective, Which of the manager do you think will get a new job first? Edin Terzic, the former coach of Dortmund. Thomas Tuchel, Maximilian Allegri, or Xavi? Which of these four coaches do you think is going to get?
Xavi last.
He's going to get. He's going to get the coaching job first. Thomas Tuchel, Edin Terzic, Allegri, or Xavi?
Most definitely Allegri first.
Allegri.
I don't know, the Italian teams, they always recycle each other's coaches.
Right.
Who's this guy at Napoli now? Antonio Conte. He has coached just
back to back.
They always like
back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Allegri's going to find maybe a little team. It's going to land with.
Right. Sammy, you want to have something?
So I'm going to go in a little bit into the analysis from me. I wouldn't just jump straight to the answer here. So when you look at Terzic, right, Edin Terzic, he did well with Dortmund, with the Dortmund team. I'm not gonna lie, got to the Champions League finals, they played really fun. It wasn't all rosy for them, in the season, for Dortmund in the league, in the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
But they did play some fantastic football, in the Bundesliga as well. So for me, he's a decent coach, not world class yet, but he's a decent coach. But when you come to Allegri, right, Allegri is a coach with vast experience. But when you look at the niche of the places where he can get jobs, I don't see not many Italian coaches go out
to England,
exactly, because they are more.
This our guy
Maresca,
and this guy from Brighton. I think it was Italian.
Fabian Osler. Fabian Osler. And no, sorry. You're talking about De Zerbi.
Thank you, De
Zerbi. Roberto De Zerbi. So apart from De Zerbi and Maresca, the
Italian coaches don't really
because they are very tactical. They are all about the technical abilities. Look at what Maresca is doing. He is not just kick the ball and run. It's technical ability. What can you do with the ball?
Detail oriented.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the Italians for you, very very oriented when it comes to stuff like that. Like the Italian league and the Spanish league are the best technical leagues in the world. So the niche for those kind of coaches, Allegri, to go out is within Italy. And I think it depends on the kind of shake off that happens in the league. It depends on the type of shake off rather that happens in the league. Meanwhile, Edin Terzic, is a decent coach, but if you look at if you look at jobs like, the biggest teams that are looking out for like coaches and stuff. the biggest name on the list is your team, Manchester United. So I don't think Man U will go for a profile.
I don't think Edin Terzic will be able to do that, have that confidence of going to a team like
exactly.
that. Manchester United,
you won't want to take that. It's going to risk his career basically, because his career is just mid-range right now. It's not even, he hasn't done anything much with his career as a coaching career. He can't.
So he's going to get a first job.
So for me, I think we heard Man U has been talking with Tuchel recently. Personally, I like this time during Chelsea.
Right. Right.
But
You
I,
don't want
I
him
wouldn't
at
say
Chelsea.
it's the best coach, honestly. But at the same time, if Man U's gonna go for him, they should go for him because we're still gonna whoop their ass. But yeah, so I'll say Thomas Tuchel first. But Xavi is on the last. Like when it comes to my rating, Xavi is definitely last. Thomas Tuchel
Stay
first.
in Spain and be
Allegri
barbecue.
second. Yeah,
Not
I mean,
right now.
who's gonna give Xavi a job? Come on, man.
Don't let's go
Uh,
there.
it's like
let me give
giving-
Seun let me give Seun the last question. I mean, and this goes to Manchester United on this segment of the episode of the podcast. So the question here is, well, will Manchester United finish closer to fourth or closer to the relegation?
The answer is clear.
Will Manchester United finish closer to fourth or closer to relegation? This
I
season?
mean, if there's no changes, if we continue to play the way we're
I want
playing,
that honest question as a Manchester United fan. Just give us that your own honest.
Be truthful.
closer to fourth, I'll say
No.
yes, somewhere mid-table, like 9th, 10th, if we continue playing like this. But if we change, definitely top four. I'm not even saying close to top. I'm saying
Wait,
top four.
you're saying if you keep playing like the way you're
I'm
playing
saying
right
if
now,
we keep
you
playing-
end up
if we-
9th, 10th?
Yes.
The way you're playing right now.
Yes.
I'm sorry to break it to you. How many games have you won?
Let's not go too far.
No, this is analysis. No, you said the way you're playing right now, you end up 9-10 if you continue like this.
Definitely. Because there's some teams we haven't played that we can easily beat, even though we're playing back.
Like which team? Barnsley?
There's so many. Barnsley's not good in the league.
Bro, because you scored 7-0. We couldn't hear a word for like that week. They won
we have
7-0.
So many teams we can get points from. Man.
No, mention the team.
Even Chelsea, we can.
So, but realistically,
Realistically,
Manchester United will finish
if Ten Hag stays, we continue to play the same way we play, definitely mid-table, which is closer to fourth. But
8, 9,
yeah,
7.
8, 9, yeah, so same as last season.
Same
pretty
as
much.
last season.
I don't think we'll do worse compared to last season.
Nah.
Sure. Sammy.
Nah.
Relegation?
I don't agree with him. I mean, if
Because
they,
this guy
they
keeps
will,
breaking his own personal record.
Yes.
Last week, yes. He
this
got the
season
record
is the
of
worst season
one
ever.
of, I mean,
So far.
he lost the record which he broke last season.
Yeah,
He
broke
the record himself
yeah,
as well.
again this season.
I mean,
Worst start to the league by Manchester United
I think when we talk about the Ineos and the former guys that you guys, I mean,
Glazer.
the
Glazer families.
and I mean the
Yeah.
Ineos, we know they bought a certain percentage of the club. They are in charge of this financial. I mean, the players, the transfer, and the hierarchy of how the club is going to work. But I don't think there's no big difference in what
No, there isn't.
Glazers and the
the
only thing I
Ineos.
can point out is these guys
There's
are
more
going for
money.
younger players to sign.
Yeah.
The Glazers are going for big play. They went for
Yeah.
big players. They want to sign. They slap money on you. 70. Even these Ineos right now, they go for younger players. But are they this? I mean, is this the same players that you think are going to strive and raise Manchester United up
Nah.
in the long run? Do you think these guys?
You're not giving the players a chance. These players are young. We have
Well,
17, 19.
Chelsea has the youngest
We
squad
have-
in the league.
And the thing here is, guys, I want us to look at this in this way.
Yeah.
If Eric Ten Hag should leave, which coach do you guys want to bring in? Because almost 70% of these players are Eric Ten Hag signing.
Yeah.
And if a coach is coming in right now,
The only coach-
that means if a coach is coming in right now, that means he has to deal with his own
That
players
profile,
as well. And
because
the
they've spent a
problem
lot
will
of
keep
money.
going back and forth.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not going to be any changes.
I know as a fan, you always have pipe dreams. So if we can bring in,
And you already told us at the introduction of this episode that you're already potting to Real Madrid,
Let's see exactly.
Yeah.
So
This-
alone.
this
So you are
particular
trying to
person
remove yourself.
Also links to Real Madrid. So that's what I'm saying. If we can manage to squeeze in, bring in Zinedine.
Zinedine Zidane.
We're back on.
Zidane is not coming because the guy
Zidane is never. He's not going to take. Yeah,
said-
That's what
yeah.
I said.
I think he said it at some point that he's never taken Manchester United's job. I think he said it at some
Basically,
point.
What I heard is because he
Yeah.
doesn't understand
Money
English.
talks.
No, that's not an issue. Like, yeah, he can get a translator easily. Like,
This is Manchester United. If
Yeah,
you cannot
but-
communicate very well, which Eric Ten Hag is also suffering. If you can't communicate very well, you're going to suffer with coaching Manchester United.
I mean, they're still gonna win.
This is one of the
they're going
biggest
to.
team in-
They're going to win FA at the end of the year, so don't worry about that.
That's the thing, though. But
Don't
like,
worry
how
about
can
that.
you can't. That's the thing. That's why it's not fire, because I think he's definitely going to win another FL Carabao, and with that constant,
They're satisfied with it. Let us finish 10th on the table and then win FA.
Which is sad, but unfortunately, that's the standard they're looking at right now. But fans, they won't hire. They won't hire.
But going back to your point, if Manchester United continue with this form, I'm sorry to break it to you. You people might be struggling with Southampton and Co at the bottom of the table.
That's not
Yeah.
Anyways, Seun, before you go, give us your honest prediction for top 4. I know this is too early, but we'll be having maybe in 3-4 weeks.
Pure honesty.
Yeah. We used to start this podcast last season. We started with give us your own top prediction.
Just watch. Just watch. It's going to say. It's going to say something sentimental right now.
Nothing sentimental.
Okay.
Just pure
Okay.
football.
Right.
It's definitely Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea. Unfortunately,
I was waiting. If you didn't say Chelsea, I knew. I was going to do. Come on, you blues. Come on, you blues.
Right.
yeah, Palmer's on fire
Oh man, best player in the league at the moment.
for now.
At the moment, yeah, that's why I said at the moment. Is the best player in the league at the moment.
All right, guys. This is Gold Rush Football Podcast, and I'm chilling with Seun and Sammy. We'll be back after this break. Thank you. This is Gold Rush Football Podcast on Gold Rush Football TV, and I still remain your favorite podcaster, Olanrewaju Abodrin. Yeah, we have a switch, and Moses is back on the podcast. The last time we had Moses on this episode, I have a lot of reviews from the fans. They want Moses back, and ladies and gentlemen, Moses is back. How far now?
Yes, so Baba, thanks for having me back. Part 2. This is Moresca season. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Come on, preach on, preacher.
Yeah.
Preach on, preacher.
So this is what I get anytime I have the 2 Chelsea fans in the studio. I mean, they always run for them. But of course, it's the international break, and we're just going to be going to some Q&As which you guys have sent. So we'll be doing it randomly. So there are a lot of questions which the fans want us to talk about, and we'll be doing that. We'll be justifying that as this episode continues. And I'll be starting from one place again. The first one I have here is this is going to be dealing with the international break. Let me give you this, Moses. He said, after watching the match, we've watched England game. We saw the games which they played. They lost to Greece, and another one on Sunday, 3-1,
Finland.
Against Finland. Do you think Foden, Saka, and Palmer can play in the same team?
If to be very sincere with you, I looked at the England midfield against Greece. I think anybody watching that game would know that Foden shouldn't have even started the second half.
Definitely.
He was the weakest among the 3 midfielders, to be very sincere. Saka was Saka on that day on the right. He was doing what Saka would normally do. Palmer was making the runs, making the good passes, and then Jude Bellingham was making the hard tackles and all of that.
Right.
But I think that midfield throw would work without Foden. I don't know what went wrong with Foden. I really don't understand. Maybe it's his confidence, or because he's now being benched in City. I don't really know what it is. But aside that, if you can see from the Euros, we already saw that he wasn't working in that midfield. There's just something that makes it look like it is only in City that Foden plays better. So he was just the weak one among them. You could remember when the substitution was made. England started going forward better, attacking better. So for me, it's not working with Foden, but with Palmer, Bellingham, and Rice. I think those 3 would work better.
I think England need to accept the truth.
What do you mean?
The truth is that you can't play Palmer as a defensive midfielder. When I looked at the lineup, or when you watch the game against Greece, Palmer was dropping way too deep. That is not where you want Palmer. You want Palmer
more of close to the
exactly. It's the same thing today. Palmer wants to be, you could tell from Palmer's reactions. I was watching the game against Finland today, and Palmer didn't want to be on the wing. He wanted to be in that pocket, that space, because and that is where you can get the best out of Palmer to create. And that my truth, or the truth I was referring to earlier, was they need to accept that Jude Bellingham isn't a 10. He isn't a 10.
I mean, we look at the formation which this guy had, Linkasley, against Greece. He had this, I don't understand. Foden, Palmer, Jude, Saka, all these guys,
All in
no striker.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't understand.
But in all honesty, this is what the fans have been asking for. They want to see Foden play. They want to see Saka play. They want to see Palmer play.
That's the
they
thing.
want to see everyone play.
That's the thing. You can't have your cake.
This is gonna work.
You can't have your cake
And
and
like
still.
Moses rightly said, Foden. I mean, I stand to be corrected right here. Foden, with the way I've seen him play, I think this guy is a system player.
Yeah.
I stand to be corrected.
Yeah, no, you have a point.
Because
Yeah.
the way Pep Guardiola and Manchester City
uses
plays,
him.
Yeah.
a player which is doing 100% and doing so good that everyone thought is one of the best player in Manchester City. Once you leave that system, guys, we saw what's going on with Julian Alvarez.
Yeah.
We saw what's going on with when Gundogan left.
Yeah.
We saw what's going on
with Palmer.
with Palmer.
Yeah.
You understand? So
Yeah.
I think this is a system. Foden cannot strive in that England squad together with Palmer
Foden.
and Saka.
Yeah.
Foden needs direction. Tell him this is what I need him to do.
I'm not taking
This is what I
anything
need
away
you
from
to know.
Foden. He's arguably one of the best players
He is a
in
good
his
player.
position.
Yeah, he's a good
But
player.
again, a system player
Yeah.
under Pep Guardiola and Manchester City.
Yeah. So Pep is a sort of coach. I think we all know that. He gives his player like, this is what I want you to do, or I need you to do. Do this, do that, do this. Well, I mean, obviously, when the player gets in the pitch, they tend to go towards a certain direction at some point.
Right.
But I mean, you can literally tell when you see Foden play.
Because this Foden played almost everywhere at the Euros. He played this. He played the 7. He
And
played 11. He played
he
10.
had zero
Southgate
impact.
used him everywhere.
He had zero impact.
At the first game, we said, "Oh yeah, this and that is going on. He needs the pocket. He needs to play at that time." He played
had
there.
zero
it's
impact.
obvious, but nothing.
He had
is
zero
going on.
impact.
I think most City fans will not like what I'm about to say, but I'm a very realistic and straightforward when it comes to player analysis. I think Foden, just as you said, a system player who's only used to playing in a particular system is not. You can't call such a player a world-class midfielder or attacking midfielder. A good midfielder should be able to adapt to different coaches, different tactics, different formation. The only thing that will show that I can remember when they were playing Palmer on the right. We still saw his impact, but we later found out with Pochettino playing him as a central midfielder, as a 10. We saw who Palmer really is.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean if you still push Palmer to the left-hand side, he will
won't
still
play.
work.
He will play.
You still see him. So for Foden to be struggling, in the England squad whenever he comes in, it tells me there's
10, you cannot play.
Yeah, there's
7,
question
you
mark
can't
about
be
him.
good there. 11, it's not working there,
Yeah.
guys. I mean,
You're right.
maybe we can.
You're right for
maybe,
calling him
maybe,
a system player.
Maybe we can still see a sign of improvement later if there's another coach who can manage. But England have a lot of players that can fill that position.
They do.
We thought it was going to be that KDB replacement. Yes, he can. But like I said, there is a system.
Yeah,
to
let
do
me
that.
also add. If you look at Southgate, what he experienced during the Euros and
Right.
these 2 games with Newcastle, it means that the whole 4 of them may not be able to click on that.
That is where I'm going to.
Or
That
they
is
may
the
not be able to
question.
click
That
on
is
any
what
coach.
brings Palmer, Saka, and Foden. The
Yeah.
3.
Let's be
can't
realistic.
play together.
You
I don't
can
think they can.
you can have Palmer, Saka, Foden, and Jude.
Let's
play
just take
all
Jude
like
away.
this.
Jude can always be. I mean, a normal coach with sensible brain and with a very good this thing will know that Foden and Rice is okay for the 4 and the 8. I mean 4 and 6. They can complement each other. Now,
You're talking about Jude and
Rice.
Rice.
And Rice.
Okay,
They
yeah.
can complement
Yeah,
each other.
yeah,
We
yeah.
know that. I mean,
Yeah.
on the normal
Yeah.
day, but it's just over Sabi.
Yeah.
Now they make them. They use Jude as
the
10.
best bet for England is to play Saka to the right, or Saka play from the wing right, forward right, and play Palmer as your 10. Let him do all the creativity and have Kane up front. It's very simple as that.
No, I think for me, put Palmer as the 8. Let me see, because you need a Jude Bellingham who is physical.
Thank you.
Who can help Palmer
Yeah.
to do the physical work in midfield.
Yeah.
Put, I don't want to call it double pivot, but if you want to say that, if they are
Double pivot,
defending,
yeah,
they
yeah.
should fall back to double pivot.
Yeah.
But when they're attacking, Jude should go up front, playing exactly in front of Palmer.
Palmer.
Then Saka on the right, because I don't think Noni is ripe enough to.
No, it's not.
to
It's not
challenge,
there yet. It's not there yet.
Saka right now, but
It's not there yet.
He will be a good sub
Yeah,
if he
definitely.
continues with the
Yeah.
way
He's playing,
popping,
yeah,
Chelsea,
yeah.
very explosive,
And he's
you
been
know.
playing really well for England
But
too.
still on the left, I would want to give Jack Grealish a try, because if you see him in City coming from
2
that
games
left
with
hand side,
Newcastle and he's got 2 goals, right?
yes.
2 goals.
So let's give Grealish on the left hand side, and then you see, and Kane in the middle.
Yeah.
This thing is gonna.
It's
bring
very
down anything,
simple. Yeah,
you know.
I think Newcastle needs to decide if he wants that job. Honestly,
Nah, I think
because he
I
hasn't
don't
been.
think they will even be employing him at the end of the day, because from his post-match interview, he seems to sound like he said something. He said this position needs a manager who has won trophies before, which means he's writing himself off. Apparently from the position. I was thinking he was going to perform like Lifuente of Spain.
Yeah, Spain.
Who came from
Yeah.
the under 21 and performed.
I think that was what the FA,
Thought.
you know, was
Yeah,
looking at,
looking
like,
at,
oh yeah,
yeah.
I mean, this is the Luis de la Fuente.
Saying,
He's won all major competitions from all the grassroots stage to the senior team. So I think that's what England. But what we're hearing again is that the FA are now speaking with Thomas Tuchel.
Thomas Tuchel, yeah.
How does that sound? England
I think-
having a German coach, so that means we can't have any better coach.
From
I
England.
mean, any good coach.
If you-
None can come from
Like,
English
if
with
you-
this.
It is
if you
a
look
shame.
at
What are we
that,
now saying?
It is a
whenever I
shame.
see the England national team, I used to see the same Chelsea squad that I saw last season. I don't know, when I make this reference, people will think I'm just a Chelsea pathetic fan. This England team has so much talent.
Right.
Baba, all this team need is a good coach.
And you think Tuchel can do that? I mean, Tuchel doing that isn't not.
Tuchel is the kind of coach that can get you results, especially if he's given free hand to work. He's not being bossed around. If you give Tuchel a free hand with the England national team, it could be better. But if you want me to pick,
now this is my point. I don't see Tuchel. You know, we brought this up earlier in the first section, where we talked about coach that
Yeah,
you
who's
know,
going to get the first job?
yeah, no, where we talked about coach that you know they prefer to have enough time. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, yeah. Okay, when we talk about Hansi Flick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that you know having enough time, and Tuchel is one of those people that actually needs time to put his print on a team. If you bring Tuchel in today and expect him to perform, well, it may take a long time to get England there, because I mean you can tell from his days at Chelsea or I mean any other place, he has his own style of play. Honestly, I call it depressing because I don't enjoy it.
I never to be
I don't enjoy
Larry,
it.
to add to what he's saying.
Right.
The point I'm just basically trying to make is that I'm not making a case for Tuchel.
Right.
I'm only making a case for a world-class coach. A coach
Yeah.
that has a system. Like Southgate, we didn't know the system Southgate was playing.
But he's
Today-
he's the most successful coach England will
Ever
ever
had.
have.
yeah, no doubt.
When we talk about trophies.
No doubt, but we also see his lapses when it comes to obvious substitution. Southgate is it.
I mean, come on, it's the Eric Ten Hag of
See,
national team.
any coach that I can see down.
So you know the problem which England
Yeah.
will be facing going forward. Any coach which they bring in, and you can't meet that Southgate
Standard, yes.
There's going to be problem.
Yeah.
Because
yes.
as much as
2 Euro finals
I mean,
is not
not the thing,
it's
so-
not beans, it's not it's
But
not
the-
as much as the football is around, as
Baba,
much as you guys the
Southgate
England
is
fans-
more of a person coach. Like Southgate is more of, he knows how to
manage the boys.
manage the boys.
Personality,
Their ego.
yeah.
You know, he has this way of
Controlling them,
respecting
respecting
them.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like Southgate is not. There's nothing fantastic about Southgate. With all due respect,
Right.
being in Europe back to back is not an easy feat. You know, but he's the type that he knows how to go to the press, praise his guys. bring down the tempo if there's any confusion in the camp and all of that. But when it comes to tactics,
zero.
It's not really there.
All right, guys, this is Gold Rush Football Podcast on Gold Rush Football TV, and I have my guys here and we're having fun. I have a question here again, Sammy.
Yeah.
How far can Manchester City go, in the Champions League? I'm not talking about the league now. Now Rodri is out. KDB is, we don't know what's going on. We just talked about Foden, and these are the three guys that that can just push Manchester City. How far can they go in this year's Champions League? Coupled with the fact of we have this new format right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the number of goals Haaland has produced for Man City, I think his goals will get them through.
How far?
I mean, to get them to maybe out of the group stage, later in, maybe semi-final-ish. Let's say semi-finals. But another thing to consider is by that time they will have had Oscar Bob back. By that time, that semi-final should be next year, like March, April.
March.
And Rodri's injury is 9 months.
He's not coming
so it's
back
gone for the rest of the season. KDB will be back.
We don't know,
maybe sometime next year.
Yeah,
but KDB is already getting old too. Right. I said in one of the shows last year. Mm-hmm. I said, watch out for KDB. I said it at the order, and I said, watch out for KDB. Is at that age now where those injuries actually count.
And even leaving this year's Champions League, KDB in major competitions, in the final of the Champions League, in the semi-final of the Champions League, he's not always there when Pep needs him most.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Either one calf injury or one stomach pain or one jedi something must always happen.
So for me, Ireland will get them to like a semi-final position.
You think so?
They might actually get to the final, but they won't win
sure?
it. They won't win it.
I totally disagree with you.
Well, I think Pep has a way of making things work.
The truth is,
he's extraordinary at that. He always finds a solution.
The matches that City have lost in the last 1 or 2 seasons,
and they've been conceding goals like baskets.
Those are the games that
was what happened last season.
It's not
6
there.
goals in 7 games for City.
If City gets to quarterfinal, I think
that's
they
a
would
good
have
one for
shocked
them.
me, because most of the games they lost, the 3 or 4 games they've lost in the last 2 or 3 years or something, those are the games that Rodri is not there. So if Rodri is not in the team, in fact, this season, one of the reasons that I can sit comfortably and predict that City may not win the EPL is because Rodri is not there.
But don't forget, the winter transfer is still coming. I don't think Pep is going to sit around.
We know. But see, I know Pep already have players lined up that will come in January. But if you know be Rodri, if you be like Rodri. That's one thing you should know. So it will definitely affect them this season. I won't be surprised if City goes trophyless this season. Let me tell you, I won't.
Wow. So I understand your point. I understand his point.
He was trophyless,
but I don't think he understands. I don't think he understands how good Pep is. That's
he does.
No, because come on, when you're talking about, he will bring player, but it's not Rodri. But let's look at it.
The system, right?
Yeah, the system, the way Pep structures his team, right? Like all he needs to do is just trust in the player. Look at what he did with Lewis
Hall.
No, is it Lewis Hall?
No,
Rico Lewis.
Rico Lewis. Look at what he's done with Rico Lewis. See the way that kid is playing.
But he struggled in England team.
Rico Lewis struggled.
Go look at the Greece game. Yes, he was being bullied in that left-hand side. If I was asking, why don't you bring Lewis Hall of Newcastle?
That's not his natural position.
Yes, but he struggled.
But he has also performed there in the previous games.
Yes,
that he played well
in City. But in that England game, if I were the Greece coach, I would keep telling them go through Rico Lewis.
Well, each player have their own one-off games. Even Rodri has his own one-off games.
Yeah.
So we can't just count that, because honestly, I'm going to be honest with you.
Last season, City only won one trophy, right?
Yeah.
So imagine with Rodri being there, they won just one trophy. So it's possible. So if I say they will go trophyless, I know what I'm talking about.
Well, we'll see.
Okay, all right.
We'll see.
All right, moving on. Sammy, this is a question that you have to take a decision. Like, you're gonna pick one, bench one, and sell one.
Okay.
Xavi,
Selling him.
Cruz,
God damn it.
Rodri. Xavi, Cruz, and Rodri. You're picking one in your team, you're putting one in the bench, and you're selling one off. Xavi, Cruz, and Rodri.
This is a tough one. Oh my God. So the thing is, okay. So let me break this down.
All right, you have the mic.
Let me break this down. Yeah.
Okay.
It depends on their partnership, like who they partner with.
No.
No.
You have your team.
Yeah.
No, you have this three.
You have
You
to
need just pick
start one, bench one, and sell one.
and sell one.
Or drop one.
Oh my God. Oof.
No, you have to give us reason why you pick your choice.
Cruz. Man, this is a tough one.
I know. That's why we have it here. We want
Man, Cruz, Rodri, Xavi, man. Man, Xavi is one of the greatest midfielders to ever play the game. I can't sell him, bro. I can't. Man, Cruz has been. He has produced magical moments, bro. I'll sell Rodri, man.
You sell Rodri.
I'll sell Rodri. I'll bench Cruz.
And you start
I'll
Xavi.
start with Xavi. Yeah.
Moses.
Same question.
Same question.
I'll go opposite way with Sammy.
Okay.
Because of I love physical midfielders, I will start Rodri.
Wow.
Rodri is my kind of midfielder who knows how to shoot, who knows how to play box to box, who is physical. So if I'm a coach, yes, I respect Xavi. Xavi will be on the bench, while the last one, Toni Kroos. I'm sorry to say,
Dang.
I have so much respect for Toni Kroos, his achievement as a player, but can you tell me how many matches you would say, oh, Kroos
Boss this game.
But
What?
I can count number of matches that Xavi bossed the game. It determines where the ball goes.
Are you kidding me?
Well,
Cruz came back out of international retirement
it's my
to
choice,
get
Sammy.
Germany
Sammy, if I'm
into.
the coach,
Did you watch the last Euros?
You have your
Come
choice.
on.
Let me give my reason.
Without Cruz, Germany won't make it to where they were in that Euros.
I'm saying if there's one player that I can chase away the whole midfielders in Chelsea right now,
It will
and
be
bring
Rodri.
to Chelsea, it's Rodri because he has
Ahead of Xavi.
yes. See, Xavi is good, but it's not physical. If Xavi is being placed around midfielders who are also physical, he will struggle in midfield. I'm not saying he's not a good player. Not taking
Wait, you say if Xavi plays against midfielders that are physical,
that
he will struggle.
He will struggle because
Oh
he's not
my
physical.
God.
He's not physical.
Oh my God.
The point I'm trying to make is this, Sammy.
Oh my
Rodri
God.
has the quality. The reason why I'm starting Rodri ahead of the three of them is because I am sure of outside shots. If the team is sitting back, I'm sure of finding the spaces. I'm sure of him being physical. I'm sure that if there's a set piece want to defend corner, Rodri is there. So he gives me all I want as a coach. So I will start Rodri ahead of the three of them.
Well,
I'll bench Xavi and
In
then
terms of like physical appearance.
But that's his opinion, you know.
Yeah.
And the last time I checked, 100% we have the right.
Yeah,
to
no, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, in terms of like physical appearance and stuff, you know, I agree with him that, you know, he has that physical presence, you know, and ability. Yes, I agree. But I want
stature.
I want to correct that one thing that you said
Okay.
about, you know, technicality in comparison to physical, you know, presence. I'm going to tell you this, that technicality beats physical presence. No, it doesn't matter whoever plays against who. Like it is the way the brain thinks. Because technical players
in today's modern day football, if you don't have that physical, look at Caicedo.
Yeah.
If you're not physical in today's midfielder, tell me.
So are you telling me Caicedo is not physical?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that today, if you're not physical,
well, Jorginho played for Chelsea for how many years? He wasn't physical, and he had a fantastic run.
Where is the same Jorginho today? He's been benched.
Imagine if will you play Jorginho ahead of Rice?
No, physical.
Yes.
Rice is more physical than Jorginho.
All right, guys, this is Gold Rush Football Podcast on Gold Rush Football TV, and I'm having fun with my guy. Feel free to drop your own comments. Let's know what you think about all what we've been talking about. So we'll be waiting for you under the comment section. We have one more question here. With the way Anja Postecoglou is playing, the system this season, guys, where do you think Tottenham will finish?
Man, let them go to Europa, man. Let them go and play Europa. Let them go and play. Let the big boys sit to the top four,
think
man.
For me, Larry, the problem with Postecoglou is that he has refused to admit that he needs to watch his back. He thinks playing a highline football, which is something. I respect the fact that he's sticking with his.
Sometimes I feel for the guy.
Yeah, but the problem is he needs to tweak that formation. You can't be playing. Imagine against Chelsea last season, you are one man down and you're still playing a high line. Who does that? The same thing this season. The truth is that formation will give him more of possession, will make him be more attacking. But the problem is the back line will always be leaking. If it is the time of Fabregas, when you have a Fabregas and you're playing a high line against the team,
you are dead.
You'll just be looping the ball. If you check that Chelsea game, before Caicedo and the rest realized that they needed to loop, it took them some minutes before they realized that guys start looping the ball. In fact, Chelsea would have gone like 7-8-0. So with that formation, he will struggle this season because everybody already know that Tottenham will play a high line of football. All you need to do is wait for them and throw the true pass or throw the ball ahead of them, and you beat Tottenham very easily.
So where do you think they'll finish?
If they finish 6th or 7th, then I think I will be very surprised. They will finish close to United because this season we already kind of know the top four.
They'll do better than United, evidently.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, they'll do better than United.
Yep.
But I think Aston Villa will sit ahead of them.
Newcastle too will finish.
Newcastle and Fulham are people that they should be worried about. Because Fulham's game this season is.
So you think
different.
Newcastle will make top 6, top 4?
Not top 4, hell no.
I mean, top 6.
They'll be fighting for 6, 7, 8. Thereabout.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's between Tottenham, Fulham, Newcastle.
Yeah.
Because top 5 is sure. It's Man City,
Aston
Arsenal.
Villa.
No, top 5.
Aston Villa won't make the top 4 because Chelsea is in.
No, that's why I said top 5.
Yeah, top 5.
Yeah,
I don't so
Man
far.
City.
Anytime I have Chelsea this year, this is what I get. You are watching this. This is what I have to bring to you for this episode. So the two Chelsea
We have shared the position.
The final table don't already set. You don't need to.
We just don't know where the 4 will end.
Exactly, but we already know the 4. We know the teams that are going there, but we just don't know how to arrange or line up. And it's crazy because we're saying that now because next season is going to be different. Because next season, I'll be glad to tell you that Chelsea is in the title race, title contender for next season.
Let's wait till next season.
Let's wait.
The final question for the day. This is still it's a goalkeepers edition. So we're gonna start one, bench one, and sell one.
Goalkeepers.
Yes.
Okay.
That should be easy.
Van der Sar,
Okay.
Peter Schmeichel, and check.
You can see.
This is God.
See.
I know I have to
Van der Sar,
here.
Van der Sar, Peter Schmeichel,
And Peter
Peter.
Cech.
I know I have to Chelsea
This
fans
is
here.
too much. You want to break? Okay. I will remove my Chelsea hat.
Okay.
Oh my God.
And I will be very, very sincere with myself. Peter Schmeichel, Van der Sar.
Van der Sar.
And Peter Cech.
This is the most difficult question I've ever been asked in my whole life.
Yo, this shit is harder than jam, bro. And WAEC all together.
Okay, in terms of if they say there is a goalkeeper that, okay, Moses, if your life is at stake, who would you place your life among these 3 goalkeepers? I will go with Van der Sar. Because you remember how Van der Sar went on retirement, came back, and he was still blazing hot. He
won a lot of trophies.
He won
Champions League,
countless trophies,
both in
confidence.
England and in Holland.
He's tall, intimidating.
Right.
I will go for Van der Sar, even though anything United they always give me whatever. But I can't hide it. Van der Sar is one guy that's because Czech took over from them.
Right.
Czech came and took over from. Then Peter Schmeichel will be on my bench because based on what he has achieved in football, he's be on my check. Then I'm gonna sell
Peter Cech.
It hurts me to say this, but Peter Cech, I love you so much. But I'm gonna sell Peter Cech.
Sammy,
Yeah.
start, bench, or sell. Peter Schmeichel, Peter Cech, and Edwin van der Sar.
I am not selling Peter Cech. I am not.
Really?
No. See, man, the things that man did for me, man.
He brought joy to your life. As a Chelsea fan.
Oh man. No, are you kidding me? Let us go back to that season that we only conceded 15 goals.
Yeah.
Actually, he conceded 13 because I think he was injured himself and John Terry were injured for like 2 games where they conceded the other 3 goals.
Right.
So the other 2 goals. So he only conceded 13 that season. That is still a Premier League record.
But kudos to the defense, John Terry and Carvalho.
Yeah.
And don't forget, his place was still taken away by Thibaut Courtois.
Right.
And another thing, I'm not saying you shouldn't pick your choice. Another thing we check is that one-on-one we check, that was where Courtois had upper hand over him.
Yeah.
He was struggling with one-on-one, but when it comes to aerial, he's there.
Long
shots,
range.
he's there. But when Czech is faced with one-on-one,
I mean, when it comes to modern day football, let's say we were to play like a team at this moment.
Yeah, you are having your own team.
Yeah, modern
What do
day
you want
football.
in your
Modern day
own
football. I won't take. I mean, I will have to sell him because Peter Cech is not a modern day goalkeeper.
No school. So which of the two
He's
guys
old
are the
school.
modern days?
I still see Peter Schmeichel doing well with his feet.
You sure?
Distribution is way better
Because
than
this distribution of a thing
Yeah.
started not quite long.
Yeah.
Goalkeepers don't believe
not quite
in
long.
passing
Yeah.
to this
Yeah.
right or left. No, they want to launch it
Yeah.
ahead of
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
out of this. So I don't get what.
modern day football. I will put my trust in the experience of the likes of Peter Schmeichel, and because they have deeper, vast experience than our man Peter Cech. But when it comes to like, if you want me to rate them,
Yeah, that's what we give
who's
him.
the best?
That's what we give him, bro.
I mean, it's evident. Van der Sar, Peter Schmeichel, the father to the other Schmeichel. Yeah, and then Peter Cech. That is the order rating and the order of rating.
And for you too, right?
Unless we want to be, we want to be. But if I allow my sentiments take over, okay, from a sentimental perspective, now I'll be going Van der Sar. Actually, Peter Cech.
Sammy.
Peter Cech,
Your
Van der
Chelsea
Sar, and
fans,
Peter
your
Schmeichel.
Chelsea community, they are watching you and they are waiting for you.
Yeah.
For anything you say now will be used again.
That is my sentimental rating. But on a more realistic note, the best goalkeeper of all time still remains Van der Sar.
I mean, out of these 3, we still have some good goalkeepers out there, though.
Definitely.
Don't forget that.
Yes.
Out of these
Definitely.
3,
I mean, Van der Sar will compete with anyone in the world.
Yes.
I mean, mention another goalkeeper.
Yes.
That
The
Van der
reason
Sar will
why I
start.
picked Van der Sar as my starting is that he showed that he's not just for the old school kind of keeper. For
Exactly.
the modern keeper, he showed he was still the best. He came back, he won the Champions League with Manchester United. The final game with Chelsea, obviously that game, he was the one that won that game for United, So Van der Sar any day, anytime.
Van der Sar, any day, anytime. Thank you very much. This has been Gold Rush Football Podcast on Gold Rush Football TV, and I still remain your favorite podcaster. A very massive thanks to my guys right here. From Sammy and Moses, we say have a lovely week ahead of you.
Yippee.
Bye.
Yippee.